Hey everyone, it's Patty from PS Paper Crafts. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to show you how to make this card. It's a thank you card and I'm using the thank you thinlits. It's just one thinlit, says thank you. I store them on these magnetic sheets with the name of it, so for reference. So this is a card I made. I'm using this DSP. It's called Tropical Escapes and it's a 6x6 pack. And let me just show it to you. I'll fan it out a little bit. It's really pretty. There's tropical, and then there's just blushing bride, Granny Smith apple, shaded spruce, so the colors in it. So it's really pretty. And I just took this one sheet of it and I cut it down. This is 3 3/4 by 5, and then this is 4 by 5 1/4, and then the card base in this Granny Apple Green. So this is the inside of the card. I wanted to show you how to make this one today, and I just wanted to remind you that through the month of July, there's a special on Designer Series paper where if you buy 3 packages, you get 1 free. So this is one that's included in that, and again, it's the Tropical Escape, and it's really great. I love it. So anyway, let's get started. First, I cut everything out so that you didn't have to watch me cut. So I have my pieces. I did cut this out with the Granny Apple Green and then one in black, and I just am going to glue it offset just a little bit so that you get that black outline. So let's do that one first, and I'm going to use liquid glue, and I'm going to use my silicone mat just to make sure I don't get glue on my paper. So the glue won't stick to this. It's pretty good. So I'm going to just put it very lightly, and that's probably a little too much. So I'm going to just grab some of this and put it kind of in the fatter places. You can use the fine tip liquid glue, and on this one there are a lot of kind of wider areas that you could probably use some other forms of glue like snail, but there's some little tiny pieces that I think the liquid glue, and then the other thing about the liquid glue that I like is that it gives you a little bit of time to just move it around and get it placed correctly. And with something like this, you're going to want that. Once you go down on some of the other adhesives, you can't really manipulate it too much. So I'll show you what I mean, what I'm talking about with that. So I want to lay this right on the black and offset a little bit. So I want that little bit of extra time to get it right where I want it placed. So I'm going to try to lay it down and then kind of move it around just a little bit. Oops, that's a little too much. So I think that looks good. Okay, and then we're going to just add these together, glue these down together. I'm going to let this just dry a little bit on my mat. Oops, sorry about that shaking. And let me just adhere these down. So this is the basic black. Again, this is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to put it on the card base, which is the A2 size. So this is a half of a sheet of 8.5 by 11. So it's 8.5 scored at 4 1/4, and then this is 5.5 down. So let me put this on the outside and just center it. I like to look at all 4 corners, get it down there right. And then I'll put this right on top of it. So I'm doing this all flat. This is the piece of Designer Series paper, 3 3/4 by 5. And we'll just lay this, and it's got the little dots of black, which I like, just to kind of tie it all together. So we'll just center that. And then once that's dry, we'll put it on. I'm going to just do the inside. And the inside I stamped on this card. I used the Granny Apple Green and stamped "You Are the Best" from the Big Thank You. This is a new set. And this time I'm going to do "Your lovely wishes brought a smile to my day," and I'm going to stamp it in black just to do it a little something different. And then I also did, this is a 1/2 inch by 5 1/4. So just to give it a little bit something extra on the inside. So let's get that inked up. I have it mounted already. And actually, I think I'm going to put the strip down so I know where the center is. So I'm just going to put that down with some snail adhesive. Just kind of line it up to the top. Oops, I'm not doing such a good job with that. There we go. And then I will ink this up. This way I know where I want to put this, and it's kind of in the center toward the top, if that makes sense. Okay. So there we go. We have that done. And I'll set this aside. And now to this, with this I did with the dimensionals. And since it's kind of narrow, what I did was I just cut up the edges of some of the dimensionals. So I have the mini dimensionals, and if you just take your scissors and just cut up the sides of it to strips, you can get a whole bunch of pieces, and you can fit those little, I think even the minis are a little bit too tight for these letters. So if you just cut them up, see if that's enough, and pull them off, and you can just put them kind of on the fat part of the letter. And there's a lot of them on this actually. And having the backing, the black backing, makes it even a little bit wider than it would be. So if you just put some of these down here and there. So I'll put one here. Oops. Sticking to me. I think the back came out. It's a little bit more difficult to work with, but it's doable. So let's put this down. And this one seems like it's got a little extra thing hanging. So let's see, we'll put this one here. Just keep going with them. Got an extra piece there. Okay. Oops, it's still sticking to me. There we go. And maybe just one or two more. Try to get it, you know, spread out throughout the letters. You don't have to have it on every little part. And I think I'll just put one on the O and we'll be good. Okay, and I'm just going to check to make sure they're not really showing through, which they're not. So now if we just take these off the backing, and then we can just lay it down. I have it kind of at an angle. Got that one. Pull them all off. Just about done here. That one's off. Just have to make sure, get them off or they won't stick. I think that one is off. And to check it, you just want to, oops, that's not pretty. Okay, I think we got them all. So I'm just going to lay it on the card, kind of at an angle a little bit. So it's just popping up a little bit like that. And then I took these, the faceted jewels, faceted dots they're called. And I actually just put them around to add a little bit more of the black. So I'm going to do a big one. And there's no rhyme or reason to where I put them. And I'm using different sizes in different places. And I'll probably put about 5 down. And one more. So these are great. They're self-adhesive and they just give it a little bit of glimmer. And then we can put the inside in and we're all done with this card. Very fast, very easy. Let me just put some adhesive on the back. And put it on the inside of this card. And I just like that little strip of paper on the side. It just gives a little bit something extra on the inside. So there you go. So thank you. Your lovely wishes brought a smile to my day. That's the one. And then this is the other one. You are the best. And I just wanted to show you another one. So I made this one. Same idea. I have the card base is lovely lipstick. And then I have this paper is the In Color Designer Series paper. So it has all the new In Colors. Blueberry Bliss, Call Me Clover, Grapefruit Grove, Lovely Lipstick, Pineapple Punch, and then it's Whisper White is what it goes with. And this has some just kind of plain patterns, which is pretty cool. So I did that. This is a Pineapple Punch. I did the same thing. Cut out the lovely lipstick, and then I used these Pop of Petals. I stamped them on Whisper White, and then this has a coordinating punch. So I just, stamped a few, punched them out, and it's another look. So these are the 3 cards. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. And again, don't forget the Designer Series Paper Special. All right, thanks a lot for joining. You have a good day. Bye.